Hey guys, it's Jacqueline and welcome back to another speed build in The Sims 4. Today's video is a base game house. So this is for the base game save file and we're just doing another family home, and I have realized that I'm mainly doing family homes as of thus far. They're not only going to be family homes, I promise there will also be like roommates and single sims and like everything, it's going to be a variety. But at the moment, I don't know why, I'm just really into family homes, and I've also been trying to make sure that I get all of the larger builds that I have to do for the save file out of the way as soon as possible, because I don't want to be obligated to do something really big during the school year, because I won't have as much time. So I'll still do big builds during the school year, but I just don't want to, force myself to do them. So that's what's going on there. So I'm probably not going to be doing a lot of the cottages or the tiny homes and trailers and all the other stuff that I've planned until the school year starts, or until I finish all of these other houses, whichever one comes first. I'm predicting the school year will come first. But anyways, so today we're building in Newcrest, and this is on Ridgeline Drive. So that is the neighborhood that you can probably tell based on just the camera and stuff, but it's sort of like the straight shot neighborhood, it's just a row of houses, or I guess just a row of lots, depending on whatever you fill the lots with. That's your preference. And I think it was meant to be a commercial area actually, or that's sort of what they designed it for, but I'm doing houses here instead because I just think houses look really nice here, and it's probably the most stereotypical street you're gonna find in the game, because a lot of the other places aren't really streets the way that I'd think of them. They're kind of spaced out lots and stuff, which is good and all, but I mean, at least where I live, that's kind of more I would say Del Sol Valley-ish. That's sort of the vibe that I'm familiar with. The houses are just all in a row and they're really cramped together and stuff. So this street is the closest you can get to that side of the other commercial lot areas in the other worlds, but I decided to leave those ones as commercial lots. So that is why I'm doing houses here, and for this neighborhood I wanted to do something very stereotypically suburban. So these are sort of the most suburban I could bring myself to do. I have to say I don't really like a lot of suburban houses because they're so basic. If that's, I don't know if that's the best way to say it, but there's just nothing going on with them, they're just very standard houses, and it's nice and all, they're nice, but they're just not my favorite to look at. I think there's so many things that you can do to add interest to a build, but then they don't really fit into a suburban neighborhood. So this will be my take on that, this neighborhood. And if you can see the other house in the left side of the screen, or sorry, the right side of the screen, I guess, that one is another build that I already did for this neighborhood. So this is the second one for the neighborhood, and that one is up on my gallery, but I accidentally deleted the build footage for it, which was a total accident. I don't know how it happened. I just I had it all recorded. There were barely any files in the folder too at that time, so it wasn't hard for me to figure out which files were the ones from the video, but I just had a complete senior moment and deleted the entire file, and I was what have I done? Because I was actually really happy with that house, so I'm thinking I might do a video tour for it, but I don't know. I'm still deciding about that, I guess. But anyways, so I have been working on this neighborhood is the point. It might be one of the neighborhoods I'm most excited about, I guess. I already made a family also to live in the other house that is next to this one. So that family is gonna be the iconic soccer mom family. I guess it was really all based around the mom. I called her the Karen next door, I think, in her household description, the ultimate Karen next door, but I might change that because I don't know. I don't want her to be a mean person necessarily. I mean, I feel like the term Karen has some kind of connotation of intolerance and stuff, and I don't want that to be the case, but I just she's the ultimate soccer mom, the ultimate Pinterest mom, that kind of thing, so that's their neighbors, and I kind of want this entire street to be like that. And I had a plan, which the more that I'm thinking about it, the more I think it might not be completely practical, but I want each of these houses to have a soccer mom, and then there's always, in each house, there's at least one kid that plays soccer, and of course we can't actually have the kids play soccer in the base game, unfortunately. I don't even know, because I know we got a soccer, skill and a soccer ball and stuff with university, but I don't know if kids can actually play that in university, or if it's only young adults and teens and stuff, because I know kids can't ride bikes. Although, speaking of the Nifty Knitting trailer, by the way, or the live stream for that, there were so many cool reminiscences that I want to talk about later, because I don't want to divert the subject really quickly right now, but I'm just saying those reminiscences, lots of hints, and I'm a very big fan of hint stuff, I guess. So anyways, like I was saying, I guess it's not really realistic to have the Sims or the Sims kids playing soccer, but I really wanted there to be a soccer league that like is in this neighborhood, and then it's divided down the middle of the street. That was the storyline that I was thinking of. So they're all soccer moms, but then the street is like really competitive, and like on game days they like all put up banners for their kids' soccer team on their house and stuff, and they're all like, oh, my kid's team is gonna be your kid's team, like, because the street is divided in two by the league and the teams, I guess. I don't know. It's a really stupid storyline, I know, but I just thought it would be funny to do. So I don't know. I'm still like, there's a lot of things that I really want to do in terms of like gameplay and storyline stuff like that, but I just don't know how much I want to leave it up to my own imagination, because I feel like it's not going to make any sense to you guys if you see that like the neighbors on the right side of the street versus the left side of the street have like negative relationships with each other and stuff for no reason. And in my head it's because they have kids on opposing soccer teams, but if anybody downloads the save file they're gonna be like, what, why have you screwed over my relationship with my neighbors before I even started the game? Like, you know, so I don't know, I'll figure it out. But anyway, so that's one thing I've been rather indecisive about. But anyways, the family that lives here is going to be sort of a pretty stereotypical family. Again, I think that this neighborhood is going to be like very stereotypical in terms of like, you know, the mom, the dad, the kids kind of thing. I mean, I don't know if they're all going to be like exactly like that, but for the most part, they're not going to be very unconventional, I don't think, in most senses of the word. And so this one is going to be, the mom is, well, I guess it doesn't really matter which parent is which career, but just in my head, I was thinking that the mom is a journalist and then the dad is an engineer. And so I tried to put some items around the house that like sort of matched that idea. I have been putting like a fair amount of thought into the storylines for the Sims that are going to be living in the houses for the save file, because I don't have a super hard time like trying to make Sims that fit into it afterwards. And speaking of, by the way, create a sim, base game create a sim is so bad. I'm not even here to complain about the build objects for the base game, but those create a sim objects, oh my god, they're awful. Like they're so bad. I just don't even know how to handle it, because like I guess they're fine. There's like a few hairs that are good, there's a few tops that are good and stuff, but I'm gonna run out of stuff to use so fast. Like I've made like what, 3 or 4 families so far, and I'm already like, oh my god, just get me more stuff. So I don't know, if you have the base game, please just use custom content. I promise it probably won't break your game if you only have the base game installed. Like, you're missing out on a whole world there, because I remember when I had the base game I had no idea what custom content was, and I was like, what is happening? I just like, everybody was using these like random hairs and stuff, and I was always like, oh, they must be from a pack, but like no, they were custom content, and I was like really sleeping on the whole custom content thing. So if you don't have custom content installed and you only have the base game, please just do yourself a favor, just do it, because I promise it makes everything so much better. But for now, I will suffer through making base game sims, because they're not that bad. Like, I think I've made some cute sims so far. You just kind of have to get creative with the items that are in the game that I wouldn't necessarily use. Like, I wouldn't use a lot of base game items if I had the other items, but if I don't have the other items, then they're not that bad. And I'm kind of actually enjoying doing the base game builds. That might sound weird, but it kind of feels like a bit of a relief, I guess, maybe. I mean, not that I'm like making them simpler like purposefully than I would regular builds, but I do feel like there's just less stuff to scroll through and stuff, you know, and like less options, which complicates things less, because when you're scrolling through all of the items in like the whole game, I don't know if you guys have noticed, but there's a lot of items in the catalog now, so like it can be stressful to try to build with all of the stuff. So I don't know, I am enjoying that aspect of this whole endeavor, project, whatever. So anyways, as for the family that lives here, the rest of the storyline that I was gonna say is that they have 2 kids who are twins, and I know I'm overdoing the twin storyline, it's ridiculous. That's always what I do when I think of families, but I don't know if I've made a family with twins for the save file yet. I don't think so. So hopefully that's okay. But yeah, so there's gonna be 2 twins that live here, and they are both kids. And so the twins basically, one of them is super creative and stuff, and the creative one is totally like the favorite of the parents. So I gave her like the bed by the window and like all of the nice stuff, I think, and she's got like a craft table in her room, and there's one in the office. I was thinking like they gave her a little table in the office so that like she would sit there and craft with them, and like they could just spend more time with her and stuff. And then they kind of like don't really like the other child as much for whatever reason. So the other child, I was thinking, is kind of like a bit of a girly girl, but she also does soccer, and I think she enjoys soccer. But the other thing is that, like I said, the parents are very competitive about soccer, so they're like, if you fail, like you don't do well this soccer game, you're not gonna like get to have ice cream with the rest of the family. Like, it's that kind of like dynamic. Like, they really are very intense about the soccer, and the creative kid is already good at being creative, right? So they're like, you're fine, you don't have to do soccer, like, we love you, sweaty, you know? But then the kid that is like sort of just doesn't really have like a calling yet, if you will, they're kind of like, you're doing soccer, you know, like, you better. And so she's a little like, I don't know, just underappreciated by the family as like a, you know, she's a good person. She really tries. She tries to be a good kid and stuff, but they just don't really like care for her as much as the other kid, I guess. I don't know. Maybe that's a like bad storyline, but it's just what I was thinking. And then as for the teenager, I did a music lover sim, and the reason for that, you'll see once I furnish the living room area, I put in a grand piano, which, by the way, I really miss the keyboards from City Living, because a grand piano, like, the only way you can use a piano in the base game is to put in a whole grand piano. That's so unrealistic. Literally, I have so many friends that play piano, and none of them have a grand piano in their house, okay? They all have, like, the little wall piano that sits up against the wall, just a regular old piano. Could have gotten those in the base game, but no, it just had to be the grand piano, not one but two grand pianos. So that's fun. I'm just so glad they've done that. Sarcasm. But yeah, so I was thinking that, like, as a kid, she was taught to play piano, and like music was kind of a big part of their family, and so she got really into music and like sort of developed her own like interest in it separate of that. And I think at this point I gave her a guitar and also a violin, so I was thinking that maybe like from her family background, she's classically trained, so she has a violin, she knows how to play piano also, but like personally her own interest lays more in like guitar and maybe like indie kind of pop music was what I was thinking when I was decorating her room. And so yeah, that's kind of what I was going for there. So I guess in my head there's like 3 girls in this house, but again, gender is always pretty insignificant, but I think in the family that I make, there will be three girl kids, and then just the 2 parents, and that is all that lives in this house. So that is the storyline, I guess, for the family that lives here. And let's see, what else is going on? For the interior here, I tried to furnish it pretty like contemporary. Like, for example, I use these black cabinets in the kitchen with the white countertops. I know those aren't necessarily contemporary, but that's just an example of me trying something I haven't really done before. I've literally never used the black swatch on those counters. I just don't, like, it's not my thing, you know? It's not my jazz. So I tried to use those, and yeah, I also use like darker woods throughout the house, I think, more than I normally do, or because I've been leaning towards like either lighter woods lately or like kind of red tinted woods for whatever reason. So I thought it would be nice to make a bit of a return for this build to the like cool blue color scheme and the darker wood tones. And yeah, like I said, I just tried to do contemporary in here because I have a tendency to like build an exterior, and if the exterior is traditional, I'll just be like, that's it, the interior must be traditional, like there's got to be like Queen Anne stuff everywhere. It's just, that's not how it works, you know? Like, basically every house where I live has like some semblance of traditional exterior to it, but that doesn't mean the interior is like super traditional and stuff. Like, there's nice contemporary furniture everywhere. There's like that hideous boxy couch. Actually, I don't know, I used to really like that couch actually, and then everybody else was saying bad stuff about it when I started like watching speed builds and stuff, and then I realized that it wasn't a very good couch, so I started hating it. But I always feel bad because maybe I don't really hate it, and I just like have been influenced by peer pressure and stuff to hate the boxy couch. Do you know what I'm talking about? The boxy couch from the base game. Anyways, so yeah, that's basically what I tried to do in this build, and it kind of reminds me of like old school speed builds, like the types that everybody made before we got a bunch of packs and stuff, because obviously now that we have a bunch of packs, there's a lot, like a bit much larger range of kind of styles that we can go for and stuff, like different things we can build. So that's really fun to experiment with. But of course, back in the day, there was sort of like a few styles that you had to go for if you wanted to be able to like fully achieve the look. So this is one of them, I think, and that is sort of what I just tried to do in this build. And I tried to, like, you know, break free of my comfort zone, break free of the whole constantly furnishing stuff as a traditional house if it has a traditional exterior, because this one, I would say, has a pretty traditional exterior. It's not like crazy or anything, but yeah, I don't know. And I also really enjoyed the interior or exterior of this house. I know I didn't talk about it that much, I'm sorry, but I really actually enjoyed it, and I was kind of modeling it off of the other one, and the other one I built based on a reference picture. This one I just kind of like built from my head, but I was trying to sort of like keep a vibe throughout this neighborhood. I don't want them to look like random houses that are just like thrown together. Like, I want them to still feel like a neighborhood or like a development that was kind of, you know, planned. So they're all going to be like sort of similar shells. Not really. I mean, like the floor plans and all of that stuff, they're not the same for these houses necessarily, or not intentionally at least. But I do sort of want them to have similar vibes to them, if that makes sense. Like where I live, like all of the streets are basically like composed of like one or two different types of shells of houses. Like on my street, there's like 2-story houses and there's 1-story houses, and if it's a 2-story house, it has like the same floor plan as all the other 2-story houses on the street, and if it's a 1-story house, it has the same floor plan as all the other 1-story houses on the street, you know? So it just like feels cohesive that way. So that's what I'm trying to do with this neighborhood, if that like makes sense. So anyways, yeah, and also I did on the front, I don't know if you guys like saw it, I know it's pretty past it now in the video, but I did this thing that I thought was pretty cool with the roof pieces, where I like made them basically used them to create like sort of a roof decoration within the original pitched roof, or whatever it's called, gabled roof thing. So I thought that looked pretty cool as well. And that was just done with half gables, and I also used an item from the debug menu or the live edit objects menu to do that, and I think it worked out pretty well. I think it looks really cool. But I did not get that video from, or that idea from myself or like my own mind. I've seen a lot of people do that, particularly the person that I watched a video from to like figure out how to do the specifics of that, because I was having a really hard time. Like I knew people had done that, but I couldn't really figure out like how exactly to get it to work. So I watched a video from PCH Sims, I think is how you say their name, and they had a really good tutorial on it, so I will probably link that in the description if I remember to, so that you guys can also watch it if you want to like figure out how to build those. But they're really quite simple actually once you get the hang of it, so I thought that was fun, and I might incorporate that like as a motif into a few other houses in this neighborhood as well. But anyways, I had really quite an easy time with like the living areas in this house, like for example the like kitchen and living room and all that stuff. I had quite an easy time doing the furnishing for that. I had a more difficult time doing the bedrooms for whatever reason. The parents' room particularly I did not have a good time with, and the teens' room I also struggled with that one a bit. Specifically the teen one, I think the reason I was having a problem with that is because I was trying to do this like originally, well, I had like multiple plans that I sort of like went in between and trying to decide which one I wanted to do. So originally I was kind of thinking I would go for this like Y2K theme a bit, and like do like, you know, let me think of a good example room to give. I don't know, but just like pick any Disney TV show basically. And I mean, I guess from like when I was a kid, like from a little while ago, not like the new ones, not the new ones, those terrible shows. Sorry, I hate it when people are condescending to Disney Channel and they're like, oh, the shows on Disney Channel now are so bad. Like, compared to what? Have you gone back and watched the shows that we watched? Like, they're not good either, okay? But actually that's a controversial opinion, isn't it? I don't know, someone's gonna get mad at me for saying that. But anyways, I tried to do like a Good Luck Charlie kind of room or something like that. Like, oh, I forget the main teen girl in that show, her name, but I was kind of trying to do something like that at first, but I cut all that out because it ended up just like not working. I think you could make it work with the base game, but I just like wasn't having a good time with it, so I decided to try to do something different, and I went for like more of an indie theme instead, like I said when I was talking about the music that I think that teen is into. And yeah, I think it worked out pretty nicely. You guys can let me know what you think. I was really missing some of the beds, which is also why I think I struggled with the parents' room a bit, because there's just no good beds in the base game, honestly. Like, I mean, like, there's a few, but you get tired of using them really fast, and so I was like, you know, missing my good beds, like the nice beds. Just, there's so many nice beds from packs. So that was really the main thing that I was missing while I was doing bedrooms, I guess. And yeah, that's probably why I had a hard time doing both the teen and the parents' rooms. So I feel like it worked out in the end, but especially in the teen room, I really would have liked to have maybe the bed from Tiny Living would have been great, like the single bed from Tiny Living, or the single bed from not Nifty Knitting. We're not getting a bed with Nifty Knitting. We're getting, I mean, the single bed from Eco Lifestyle. I think those would have been really good in that room, but since we didn't have those, that's okay. You know, I'll live. It's fine. So I just used a modern one instead, but like I said, I kind of went for like an indie sort of thrown together, like maybe they picked up some stuff at a flea market kind of vibe for that room, although I know we don't have a flea market in the base game. We've got one with City Living, but I don't really like it because you go and every time you go it just has the same furniture there, so That's fine. I'm not bitter about the flea market failure, but it's okay. I'm not bitter, but it's okay. It's because I was bitter secretly, but anyways, I have been pre-recording a little bit, like I mentioned, and I'm working on some other videos as well. So I have a video planned also for when Nifty Knitting comes out that I'm really excited about, because I've had this one reference picture saved since literally like February, I think, and at that point we didn't know anything about Nifty Knitting except that it was like gonna be a pack, and I forget if we had voted on the build category at that point. I don't even remember honestly what style we voted for build. I want to say that DIY Delights won, but it might have also been Cozy Corner. All I know is that Granny Chic didn't win, and I didn't actually end up voting for Granny Chic, which was weird because at first I was like, yes, Granny Chic, this is my time, I really want it, but I didn't end up voting for it for whatever reason. I think I just liked the Cozy Corner better. When I was like thinking about what would be the most versatile items in the game, I ended up going for Cozy Corner instead, even though I think Granny Chic would have been a really good like theme. I did not think DIY Delights would be a good theme, so I hope that we didn't get that one, but I don't actually know. Like I said, I should really remember that, shouldn't I? Oh well, I'm sure I can look at the survey later on, but so anyways, I have had a reference picture for that saved for a really long time, and the reason that I thought it would be really good to do specifically with Nifty Knitting is because in the front yard of it's like a painting of a house, and it's a really like cutesy house, but in the front yard of it there's like this one basket and it has yarn in it, and I was like, yarn and we're getting a knitting pack? This is Pinterest trying to tell me something, trying to tell me I should build this house when Nifty Knitting comes out. But of course I thought Nifty Knitting was coming out like sooner than it was, so it took a while to get here, but it's almost here in like 5 days, so I will be building that house sort of inspired by that style when it gets here. And so I'm really excited about that because I think it's a really cute house. I know you guys probably are like, whatever, reference picture, you can shut up now, but like, trust me, it's gonna be good. It's gonna be really cute. So I'm excited about that, and I'm also building a few other things. I've been working on this like modern farmhouse kind of like cabin resort thing in Granite Falls, which sounds like a really weird thing, but I think it's gonna look really cool once I finish it. I'm just having a bit of a difficult time with the furnishing because I don't know, it's just like, it's not really my primary style, and I don't know how much I want to do like cozy and how much I want to do like modern kind of like sleek, if that makes sense. So I'm experimenting with that one a bit, I guess, but I think it'll be really cool once I finish it. And then I have been playing around with the idea of doing a let's build also, but I don't know if anybody will be like interested in that. I don't know. The reason I'm considering it is because I actually have a computer now that like doesn't lag a lot. Like if I try to do a let's build on my old computer, it would have been disgusting. You guys would have unsubscribed. Like it would have been awful and terrible, and just, you know, other synonyms for awful and terrible, because it would have been so laggy, and like I would have been talking about the living room, we still would have our camera on the kitchen, so it would have been bad. So that was not really a possibility there, but now that I have a computer that I think would actually be able to handle that, probably, I think that a let's build could be a fun idea. So I don't know, if you guys like have anything you'd like to see done in a let's build, let me know. And then also somebody sent me a request, which is really nice. Somebody that watches the channel a lot or comments on videos a lot. I don't know if they actually watch the videos. I'd assume they do, because otherwise that would just make me sad. But oh, speaking of which, by the way, I've been getting so many comments lately, the like self-promotion comments that are like, oh, hi, I just subscribed to your channel, like great content, like the stars eyes emoji, like subscribe to my channel and check it out, and I can even like support more of your content in the future. Man, like I don't want you to subscribe, I don't want you here, like it's frustrating, it's really frustrating. I mean, not that I don't want them there, like of course I would, you know, everybody's welcome here, but like it's frustrating because you know they didn't watch the video. You know they aren't actually going to watch any more of your videos, so their subscribe is virtually useless. Like it's just a number and I don't really care that much about it. And it's really frustrating because they're clearly only there because they want you to provide them with like some subscribers for them, you know? And it's like, come on, go away. And then there's also people that don't even self-promote, but they just comment like something that makes it very clear that they didn't actually watch the video, or there are people that do comment and it's nice of them and stuff, and like I'm pretty sure they watch the video because like they're regulars, but they don't acknowledge something I said in the video, which sounds so weird, like that sounds so like nitpicky of me, but like for example, if I tell a story in a video and then people comment about the build but they don't mention the story, I'm like, that's it, they didn't watch the video, which is probably not true. Like that's just me being like sensitive about stuff. But I don't know, I kind of have like a way that I respond to comments based on if I think they watched the video or not, which is really mean and arbitrary of me because of course I can't actually tell. But if I think somebody watched a video, I'll be like so much more nice in a comment, like in a response comment, I'll be like, oh, thank you, like 2 exclamation points and like a smiley face and a heart and stuff. And if I think they didn't, I'll just be like, thanks, and then that's it. That's the comment. So, you know, interesting, I guess. I don't know. I probably shouldn't do that because then it's like an unfair assumption, right? Because I'm sure some people do watch the video and I give them this like short little comment and they're like, oh, sad face, but you know, it's fine. Everything's fine. I just shouldn't think about it that much probably, but I do. I'm an overthinker. That's fine. It's just my nature. So anywho, like I was saying, somebody, like I was saying before I got into this whole ramble, somebody requested a build in Sulani, so I'm going to do that, and it was like a family home, and there were pretty specific instructions and stuff, so I'm gonna do that one. And I have been like brainstorming what I want to do for it, but I'm not entirely sure yet. And I always get nervous doing like anything that's vaguely requested because I'm like, oh god, they asked for something and I'm gonna screw it up and they're not gonna like it and they're gonna like hate me forever. So good logic on my end, am I right? But yeah, so that will come eventually. And I don't know, I've also been, I know I mentioned this before, thinking that I might do a speed build. No, I do speed builds all the time. Let's play when I get the new computer, which I now have the new computer. I don't know, I still want to do one. I'm just kind of scared that I'm gonna be really bad at them and everybody's gonna hate them and like no one will watch it, you know, which like obviously that's not the worst thing in the world. Like make videos because you enjoy them, not because people watch them, but like if people are here for my speed builds, you know. So if I start making a let's play, I feel like people might get mad or they just might not watch it. And either way, I don't know, I'm kind of sensitive, so we'll see how that goes. But I am still like kind of planning on doing one, and I'm thinking that I'll do the family dynamics challenge because that looks like a really fun challenge. I actually started it in the past, but I'm just really bad at like follow through on gameplay of any kind. So I think if I'm actually doing like a video series on it or let's play, then I will probably follow through on it more even if people don't watch it. So I don't know, that could be good either way. That's I guess all I really have to say about like pre-recording for videos and stuff. And I actually thought that I was gonna have to go on vacation, or have to go on I make it sound like it's a horrible thing. I thought that we were going to go to this like lake house that I don't know, somebody in my family owns it. I think it might be my grandma. I don't know. Somebody in my family owns a house on a lake, and so it's just like, because my mom has 6 siblings, so we all just like it's just her side of the family. Everybody like we all own the lake house together, you know. So we were going to go up there, I think, but we're probably not going to do that now, just for like time constraint reasons and stuff. Like just me and my family were going to go up there, but I think because my parents both work like a lot, like they have a really hard time getting time off in the summer, so we always have to go on vacation if we go in like August time. So that was sort of the plan, but now I think we're not going to do anything, so I don't really have to pre-record that much for that, luckily, although I'm a bit disappointed that we're not going, but that's fine. So yeah, the point is that I am at my full disposal for Sims content, I guess, as of right now, so that should be fun, I suppose. I don't know, I'm just dying a little bit. I'm really bored and nothing is happening in my life, so that's unfortunate. But anyways, I've been trying to make shorter builds lately, like for that reason that nothing is going on in my life. That sounds stupid, but basically, if you've been around for a while, I used to fill up voiceovers by talking about my life, like quite a bit, and there's just nothing going on anymore, so like I have nothing to say during voiceovers, so I've been trying to make the video shorter so I don't have to do as long of a voiceover, because I really enjoy doing voiceovers, and I know I mentioned recently that I might stop doing voiceovers. I'm still kind of like, do I want to, do I not? Because then the other issue is that I kind of think I'm a really annoying person, and I don't know if that's true or not, but like, I don't know, I have very like low self-esteem, so because of that I'm like, oh god, they're like watching the video and they like the video, and then suddenly I'm talking and then they're like, that's it, I'm going now. And when I say they, I mean I'm referring to like viewers and like people that just like get tired of the video and they don't want to watch the video, and it's like because of me. So that I was like, I should stop doing voiceovers so that I don't like annoy people away, which is probably flawed logic of some kind, but I don't know, because of that, I guess, and just because I have nothing to say in voiceovers really these days. But anyways, we're pretty much at the end of the video here, so thanks so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, you can leave a like and comment to let me know, subscribe and click the bell for notifications if you want to see more videos, and get notified every single time that I upload a video. And if you like this build and want to play in it, it will be up in the gallery. My origin ID is in the description. And that is all. Thank you so much for watching. Bye!